I am so excited to welcome you to BTBJ tonight as we welcome Shabbat and as we celebrate the sun coming out after a bit of a gloomy day, and as we celebrate with Haley and her family as she is getting ready to become bat mitzvah. Thank you. Okay. Glad we have some excitement about that. So we have a beautiful service in store for you, and we are so happy to have you and Jordan up here tonight helping lead us in our service. And to get us started, we have to begin to kind of carve out our space and to establish our kind of sanctuary in time that is Shabbat. And we do that with a bit of a physical symbol. So as we light the lights of Shabbat, we begin to hopefully ignite that spark of Shabbat in ourselves and in our space around us so that we can begin to kind of breathe in that light and that peace that comes every Friday night, ready or not, whether or not we acknowledge it, there it is. So hopefully over the next hour or so, we'll have a chance to kind of slow down and take some deep breaths so that we really can breathe in and welcome that peace of Shabbat. And to help us do that, we're going to invite up Haley and Jordan and Brian and Emily to light the Shabbat candles for us. And we are on page 4 if you wish to follow along. And we will light the candles, say the blessing, and I invite you to take a nice deep breath to breathe in that Shabbos light. Hopefully one of you knows how to light matches.
I got it.
Okay, great. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen. Haley, I'm going to ask you to head over to Cantor Benjamin, and the rest of you can take a seat while we all turn to page 5 as Haley leads us, along with our BTBJ band, still working on a name, I think, but we're thrilled to have Mitch Harris and Evan Wolf on the bima with us as well.
Malachei hasharet, Malachei hayun, mi-melech, Malachei hamalachim hakadosh baruch hu. Boachem le'shalom, Malachei hashalom, Malachei Elyon, mi-melech, Malachei hamalachim hakadosh baruch hu. Barchuni le'shalom, Malachei hashalom, Malachei Malachei hamalachim hakadosh baruch hu. Seichem le'shalom, Malachei hashalom, Malachei Elyon, mi-melech, Malachei hamalachim hakadosh baruch hu.
We turn to page 10 and continue with Yedid Nefesh.
Yedid Nefesh שוכבתך ארצונך ירות עבדך עמו אייל ישתחווה מול הדרך יערב לו ידידותך מנוף עצוב בחותם אדוני עזיב העולם נפשי חולת אהבתך אנא אל נא רפאה לה בהרות לנו עם זיווך אז תתחזק ותתרפא והייתה לך שפחת עולם ידה די 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 ידה די 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 ידה די 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 ידה די 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 ידה די 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 ידה די 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 ידה די 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 ידה די 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 די
So we're now moving through the section of our service known as Kabbalat Shabbat, which means receiving Shabbat. Because even though Shabbat comes, whether we're ready or not for it to do so, the process of receiving Shabbat is an important one. To allow ourselves to really think back on the week that has passed, to celebrate all of the joyous moments or the special times that maybe we had, to acknowledge if there were moments that were a little bit more painful or difficult and recognize maybe what we've learned from that and hold with us what we need to hold with us and maybe put aside and let go of that which is no longer serving us. So we don't have to only do that one time a year at Yom Kippur. We can have this reflection every single week. So as we look back on our week, which was quite an interesting one, especially since it is not every day that we have a total solar eclipse, I want to invite you to consider what those moments might have been for yourselves. And maybe, if you're feeling particularly brave, you might even wish to share with the rest of us if there was something that was particularly awesome or something you're really proud of or something that you're celebrating so we can celebrate with you. Or if there's something else that's going on, you can let us know that too, because that's what community is about, for us to be able to support you through some of those other moments as well. So does anyone want to share anything? Ava?
So my school, we're doing Music Man Kids as our show for the year, and we just went on our elementary tour today.
Cool.
So we all got to skip out on school.
Nice. And James, how did she do?
She did amazing.
Of course she did. That's awesome. That's such a fun idea to be able to take it on the road so that the younger kids can kind of see what they have to look forward to. I love that. Dahlia, what do you want to share? That's true. We have a lot of April birthdays in our house. So next Friday night, we'll be sharing, God willing, that we had an awesome birthday. But for now, this is her last full week as a 10-year-old. I know. Mayan, how about you? And your birthday's coming up too. As I said, a lot of April birthdays. Stay tuned. Jack. And are you excited about that? Yeah. little bit of a change of pace. So the regular week of school this week, a little bit of a break next week with some PSSAs thrown in. Jordan, what do you want to share?
My birthday's coming up and I have to do PSSA.
There, I see some similar themes going on. All right, James.
I'm going to a Phillies game and also I'm excited about the PSSA.
Teachers, who knew?
Why do you
So
look
I
forward
want.
to standardized?
I don't know. And so just a reminder, I'm thrilled for all the things that we're excited for coming up in the future weeks, but also let's think back on this past week and celebrate what's been awesome about this past week. Emily.
Ryan was inducted today in the Distinguished Graduates.
Woohoo! Big day for the Rosenfelds.
Pack everything in the one weekend.
That's awesome. So like, what did that look like? What was it?
There was a whole ceremony.
Yeah.
And they had to give speeches, and everyone, I think, there was a video made about them. It was a very nice ceremony.
Oh, that's so sweet. Can we see the video? Is it shareable?
They're supposed to be sending it.
Okay, all right, so stay tuned, so we can share, we want to be able to chef nachas appropriately on you, so we need to see the video. Okay. Yeah. Check Facebook, check Facebook. Molly. Oh, yeah. Campus soon. I got to get through the year first, though. Josh.
I want to introduce everybody to the newest members of our
Oh.
Beth Semmel and John Shapiro. If you could all
We are thrilled to have you as a part of our community. Thanks for coming. And Rebecca. You had your birthday on the solar eclipse. I don't know if you can ever top that gift, parents. Probably not. Did you get out of school early for it too? No? You stayed late. Well, that's also special. So the entire world and like all of the celestial, hosts and beings, like we're all celebrating you, Rebecca. So I think that means it's going to be a really good year. I think so. Okay. So I encourage you to continue to think about this question for yourselves. And you can kind of like really, as we move through the service, think through your week, Saturday night, Sunday, because sometimes the week just sort of passes us by, and the days and the years, they just all pass us by. But every single week, to be able to pause for even a brief moment when we light candles, or as we walk in the door after work, or if we sit down to dinner, whatever it is, to appreciate where we've been, express gratitude if there's someone that we want to say thank you to. Thank you for spending time with me. Thank you for helping me. Thank you for just being you. I encourage you to do that. Think about that through the service, and as you move through Shabbat and on out into your week, celebrate, say thank you, whatever it is. For now, we are going to turn to page 14 and continue with the red arrow.
11?
Sorry, 11. Top of page 11. Really appreciating having Genevieve sing with us this evening. It is a really special addition to our service. We continue now on page 14.
ישמחו השמיים, ישמחו השמיים, ישמחו השמיים ותגי הארץ, ישמחו השמיים, השמיים, ישמחו
ישמחו השמיים,
ישמחו השמיים,
ותגר הארץ. ירם הים, ירם הים, ירם הים ומלואו.
ירם הים, ירם הים, ירם הים ומלואו.
As we continue to march through Kabbalat Shabbat, we turn to page 16 and join together 4 lines up from the bottom in Hebrew or in transliteration.
Oy zarua latzadik, oy yishrei lev simcha. Oy zarua latzadik, oy yishrei lev simcha. Oy zarua latzadik, oy yishrei lev simcha. Oy yishrei lev simcha, oy zarua latzadik, oy yishrei lev simcha, oy yishrei lev simcha. Ya da 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 ya da da ya da da ya da da ya da
We turn now to page 23, and I'd like to invite Haley and Jordan to come up to the bima to help lead us in Lecha Dodi as we welcome Shabbat with the same kind of anticipation and excitement that we might imagine welcoming a bride at a wedding, our beloved, welcoming a queen if we were kind of cleaning our house and getting ready to welcome someone so unbelievably fantastic as the queen into our house, or maybe a king. That is kind of how we're supposed to experience Shabbat each and every week, and that's the feeling that we're supposed to have as we sing through Lecha Dodi. So if you're not excited for Shabbat yet, you still have a little time, get excited, because Lecha Dodi is going to kind of move us in as we welcome Shabbat like a bride.
Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor v'dibur echad, Ishmi anu el hamyuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, L'shemo tiferet v'litchila. Lecha
Dodi.
Dodi, lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu b'nelcha, Ki hi mekor habracha, Merosh mikedem nizucha, Sov maaseh b'machshava tehila. Lecha
Dodi.
Dodi, lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Mikdash melachir melucha, Kum mitza'im mitoch ha'hafecha, Rav lach shevet b'emek ha'bacha, Behu yachmo alayechem lach. Lecha Chadodi likrat kala, Panei Shabbat nekabela, Lechadodi likrat kala, Panei Shabbat nekabela.
Page 25 and continue at the second verse.
Yaminus moti frotzi, Viet Adonai taritzi, Al yadi ben partzi, Vanismecha benayila. Lecha dodi, Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pernei Shabbat nekabela, Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pernei Shabbat nekabela.
I invite you to rise and face the door as we welcome our Sabbath Queen.
Bo'ir v'shalom ateret bala, Gam b'simcha u'tzola, Toch emunei am segula, Bo'ichala, Bo'ichala. Lecha dodi, Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pernei Shabbat nekabela, Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pernei Shabbat nekabela.
You may be seated. Thank you, guys. We continue on page 27 with the Psalm for Shabbat.
Mishmar shel yom Shabbat, tov l'dos Adonai, Elozeh mishim chal yom,
And we'll join together again on page 28 at the red arrow.
Tzadik ata ma'yifrach, Erez valvanon, Yizkeh shatulim, B'beit Adonai, B'chatzrot Eloheinu yafriku, Od yenuvun beseva, Deshenim merananim, Yiu lehayid, Yashar Adonai, Tzuri, Tzuri, Velo, Avlatabo.
So I hope by now you've had a chance to kind of settle in, to put aside anything that is keeping you from really opening up to receiving Shabbat, because we're getting ready to officially move into our evening service on page 39. So if it's helpful, you could just take one nice big deep breath. Sometimes that helps to kind of settle our minds and kind of root ourselves in whatever space we're in. So we are going to, as I said, turn to page 39, and I invite you to rise if you're comfortable and able to do so for Baruch Hu.
Baruch Hu Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai Havorach Leolam Ba'ed.
Baruch Adonai Barach Le'olam Ba'ed.
You may be seated.
Baruch Adonai Melech Haolam Asher B'Rivim V'Tav Asher B'Rivim ומעביר יום ובין לילה, מבדיל מיום ובין לילה, אולי תוד שמו חבק הים תמיד מלוך הלילה, למעט ברוך אדוני, המרי ורבים.
Amen. We'll turn to page 40 in a moment, but I want to just, this line kind of jumped out at me from our prayer this week. As we say this blessing after the Baruch Hu in the evening, it says, "Blessed are you, God, sovereign of time and space, whose word brings the evening dusk, whose wisdom opens the gates of heaven, whose understanding changes the day's division, whose will sets the succession of seasons and arranges the stars in their places in the sky, who creates day and night and who rolls light before darkness and darkness from light. It's all mixed up this week, but this is in our liturgy every single day, an appreciation of the way in which we kind of take for granted the way things kind of move, the way each day the light and the dark kind of just roll into one into the other again and again. And then the seasons change and the flowers bloom, and it's easy to take all of that for granted. And so it can be an important exercise to also pause and appreciate that which we don't often notice and how miraculous it truly is. Continue on page 40 with Ahavat Olam.
Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Ahavta Torah u'mitzvot chukim u'mishpatim otanu limadeta Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shokveinu uv'kumenu nasiach b'chukecha v'nizmach b'divrei Toratecha uv'mitzvotecha li'olam va'ed ki hem chayenu v'yorech yameinu v'yorech yameinu uvahem negeh yomam halayla yomam halayla yavachal t'sivim medal elamim baruch Adonai ohevamo Yisrael.
Amen. We turn to page 41 as Haley leads us in Shema and V'ahavta. Shema
Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, b'chol levacha, u'b'chol nafshecha, u'b'chol miodecha, v'hayu הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם ושבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם להיות על ידיך והיו לדודפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
Continue silently through to the bottom of page 42.
Adonai Elohechem emet.
We continue on page 44 at the top of the page.
ומלכותו ברצון קיבלו עליהם משה ומרים בני ישראל לכאן אשר בשמחה רבה ויאמרו כולם מי כמוך באלים אדוני מי כמוך נהדר בקודש נורא תהילות וספר מלכות גברו בניך בקיים לפני משה זהו ויאמרו Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed v'ne'emai v'da'alai et Yaakov v'golom yed chazak mimenu baruch et Adonai ga Yisrael.
We turn to page 45 for Hashkivenu, and I invite Lori Wolf, along with Max and Sam, if they wish to join, up to help lead us in the words of Hashkivenu, which is our evening prayer for peace and protection. And so as we sing these words tonight, I invite you, if you find yourself to be someone in need of a little extra security or peace or healing or comfort, take these words in. And if you also want to think about people or places or parts of the world where we can send these blessings, certainly to Israel and to those in the midst of this war in Gaza, and to all of the other people and places in the world in need of a little extra safety and peace this evening.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. Ve'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Amen. Shelter us beneath thy wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. 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 Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Wolf family. I'm really glad Max and Sam, you guys came up too. We turn to page 46 now as Haley leads us in Vishamru.
Israel et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. בני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים, את השמיים מאת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת
לדורותם ברית עולם.
Oh, Yikadal, V'yikada, Shemei Rabbah,
Amen.
B'ma Divra Hirite, B'hamif Mahute,
בחייך Yisrael. Bagala, bagala, ubizman kariv.
Ve'imeru.
Amen. Yehi shmira b'mevarach. Ve'alam li'amei amaya yitbarach.
Yekada. Oh, Yipara, Vietaba, Vietnam, Vietnama, Vietnase, Vietadar, Vietale, Vietalash, Medikudasha,
Brechu.
Le'elam, Miko, Hata, Beshirata,
Tush bechata v'nechemata, damiran ve'ama.
Ve'imeru.
Amen. Thank you, Haley. We turn to page 47 now for our silent Amidah. So I will invite you to rise if you're comfortable and able to do so as we move through the Amidah in Hebrew or English from pages 47 to 52. Or feel free to take a quiet moment of reflection for yourselves, and we will conclude together with a prayer for peace. We conclude together on page 51, at the middle of the page, Shalom Rav.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Ki atahu melech adon Lecho hashalom. Yatahu melech adon. Lecho hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Hasim le'olam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim le'olam. Beitov b'einecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael.